I'm not an architect. I'm not a media personality. I'm not an influencer. I'm an actor. Well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not much good at
Yeah.
being a man anyway.
Yeah.
Talk about men. Talk about men's mental health.
Yeah.
What should we be doing? What should men be doing? How can we make it better? How can we fix it? I don't know. Okay, that's not what I think about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. So today I'm here with Ashan Dias, and we are going to be talking about men. What it means to be a man. Now, Ashan Dias, I'm sure, is familiar to most of you on the big screen, on the small screen.
Size doesn't matter.
I know, on the screen in your hand.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, male role model, influencer, actor. So we'll start there, Ashan. Now, who is the leading man? Let's take a film. Who is the leading man? Who is the movie star? That archetype. How masculine does he need to be?
Does he need to be?
I'm
Or
asking.
is he? I mean, in our context, the leading man needs to be, I think, like the biggest symbol of masculinity, because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's how it runs here.
So what does it mean when you say the biggest? What are those? What are the manifestations of masculinity?
The hero, the guy that every guy wants to be. It doesn't mean that it's in real life that this guy is a hero, but he's the guy that fixes everything, the guy that fights everybody and wins, the guy that gets whoever he loves.
No room for nuance?
Not really, not really, because that's not expected.
Is that true of all cinema, you feel?
No, it's not true of cinema. It's unfortunately how it's been for.
No, I'm saying in Sri Lanka, within the Sri Lankan context. Do you
It
feel?
has been, yeah. It has been. But then there have been instances where, things have been more real and you don't really go with the archetype of a hero or a leading man. That has been there, but
Yeah.
it's rare.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Is that what sells?
That's what sells, I guess. But now, recently, I was part of a film that came out recently, Are You, right? And that is not the typical archetype that's sold before. So we didn't think that it would do well. But the excuse has always been this is what the people want, this is what they understand. So we have to give them that. So it's never been anything new, no new perspective, nothing to think about, right? But then you put this film out, and even the producers or the director didn't think it'll do that well, but people get it. It's just that, you assume they don't and you give them basic stuff. But when you give them something real, something with nuance, something that makes you think, they do understand it.
But the basic stuff, in your view, is what is being given out there. And the basic stuff is sometimes the stuff that does the damage because it reinforces sometimes very negative stereotypes of what it means to be a man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it reinforces or it just puts a band-aid on something.
Okay.
I think the things that I learned about what it means to be a man came from the family background. And also, I'm not saying good things, I'm saying what I learned.
Okay.
Yeah, it came from family, it came from school,
Yeah.
it came from friends, it came from older, siblings or older students at the same school. So that's
What
where it
did
came
you
from.
learn?
I will. See, I don't think I learned that this is what a man needs to be. What I learned, I think, is I don't want to be that
Okay.
from a very young age. And that comes from, see, if you ask me, what did my parents teach me about what it means to be a man? They didn't.
No, they don't, but you learn.
You learn.
Yes.
You learn by watching. You learn by being there.
Yes.
Right? And so I didn't learn I still don't know what it means to be a man.
When you find out, tell me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is. And the good thing right now in my life is that I know that I don't know. Right?
Let's talk about what it means not to be, because you said I learned what not to be. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that a little.
So it's tricky because when you talk about something from your childhood with your parents, even if my parents watch this, they might take it as a negative thing, right?
Okay.
For instance, like from my dad's family, his family, he had 3 sisters, himself and another brother, and even our grandma treated the men like kings. And so the sisters had to wait on them hand and foot, but they didn't see anything wrong with that. So, but when my mom comes into the family, she was more of a dreamer. She comes from a family with 6 girls. So for her and my dad, there was a clash. Where my dad expects, I'm the man, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to bring the money in. Your job is to look after the kids and put the food on the table. My mom is like, oh, he's going to work. Let me read what's in the papers. Let's read this book, that book. And by the time he's, coming back for lunch, she hasn't cooked. Again, I'm not placing blame here. I'm just saying what happened.
No,
Right?
so that's the standard patriarchal model.
Right.
And she's challenging it now.
So when I see my dad coming home and then he's upset that the food is not ready and then she's upset about that. And so what I do is, by the time I know dad's about to come home, I'll go tell her, let's cook, and I'll help cook. So as a kid, I learned how to cook. Right? So I was trying my best to reduce conflict. So I didn't be like, oh yeah, you should be, man find money, man wants food on the table, you look up. I didn't take that in.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not much good at
Yeah.
being a man anyway.
Yeah.
Like putting the food on the table. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And it's just that with this sort of flattening of the space with social media and Instagram, you being an influencer, for example, there are more opportunities for us to reach people with these stories
Yeah.
about how you don't need to be this
Yeah.
hyper masculine person.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about this influencer space that you inhabit, and how many people have you influenced? I mean, what is the number on your thing?
What
Is it
a
a high
question.
number? Is it a high number?
That's a very interesting question. Now,
Is it like in the thousands, or is it more impressive?
wait. Now, see,
Or
somebody
even more impressive?
somebody would usually ask, how many followers do you have? Right?
That's what I'm asking.
That's not what you asked. How many people have you influenced? So that's a very nice
No,
way of
but
putting it.
I meant that.
Yeah, but whatever you meant, that's a very nice way of putting it. If you're an influencer,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be asking how many followers you have. How many people have you actually influenced?
Yes.
That's the crux of it, man. Instagram, I have about 35,000 followers,
Sure.
and followers meaning these are people that like my work, and also I'm not like you go through my Instagram, you'll see what I've gone through in the last 6 years, my personal struggles, everything.
Fine.
Yeah. So the people that actually are
So
still
that is literally 35,000 people following you, following your journey.
not necessarily they've clicked a button. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
but now they're following.
But they're still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when people, if they don't want to see stuff that I post, they'll just leave. Right?
Exactly.
The fact that they're there means that they've been part of my journey. It's not about all these frills. This is where I ate last night. This is what I'm wearing. Look at my designer clothes. Look at the film I'm doing. Yes, the films I'm doing, I use my platform to promote it. But I talk about my life. I talk about, okay, this affected me, that affected me. I don't know what to do today. And then my friends in the industry are like, why are you putting personal stuff on your Instagram? Like, no, you have to maintain that star thing. You have to be an actor. They have to aspire to be like you. I'm like, but this is my life. This is
Please
my
aspire
platform.
to be human. I mean, if you have to
Right.
aspire anything, be aspire to be a human.
Yeah, so I've been honest how I live my life outside, even in the public eye, even with films, even in interviews, and even on my social media. So I'm proud of that. And so the people that follow me know that. And I'm proud of that, even though it's a small number compared to other stars in the industry. So that label of influencer is a bit ambiguous.
Now, if you take a look at some data that is coming out of the US, some data of the US is showing that men disproportionately are affected by big tech in terms of the impact on relationships.
By big tech. Explain
Big
to me
tech,
what
so
big tech is.
Facebook,
Okay.
the TikToks, YouTubes, whatever, on the online spaces, there is an impact on relationships because they're going out less, they're staying at home more, they're watching pornography or consuming more pornography. The more pornography that they consume, the less opportunity to interact, have relationships, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's some data coming out now on that. So now let's come back to this influencing space. Because anecdotal evidence, even where we are, shows that there's a real addiction, if you like, in terms of your phones.
Yeah.
Right? So your prefrontal cortex, your dopamine hits, it's all racking, especially developing brains. Right? Now, how do we balance this influencer space, if you like, with actually getting people to put the phone down and step outside and engage
I
with
don't
people?
know.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I don't have an answer to that. Because I am guilty of being on the phone all the time as well. I get my hits off, my dopamine hits off the phone. And so I don't know what needs to change. Like we can say it's bad. That's not the
we
best thing
can
to do.
say that, but
yeah,
then
that's
what's no point in saying that?
yeah. But like, see, even the purpose of this chat, Hans. Like when I was invited to come talk about men, talk about men's mental health.
Yeah.
What should we be doing? What should men be doing? How can we make it better? How can we fix it? I don't know. All I can do is talk about what I've been through, maybe, or how I see things, and show that there is no problem, that I don't have a problem talking about it.
Do you think men in general have a problem talking about it?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
So what helps you talk about it?
I don't know. I guess that's just how I am. And also, like, it's just my personality. I've always been honest about what I feel. And as I'm getting older, realizing more and more that I don't know. Right? And so I've been, like, when you said actor, what is it, media personality, influencer, all of those
I didn't
things.
say media person.
You didn't. Okay, that's not what I think about myself. I'm just saying it's been,
I call you
people-
an actor. You're genuinely an actor. You're obviously an influencer.
Yeah, so you go through your life thinking, what do I call myself? What do I do, right?
There's another one on here, male role model.
Right, okay. So you have all these labels, right?
Yeah.
So you go through your life trying to figure out, who am I?
Yeah.
What am I? Why am I here? And so you get labeled, or you acquire labels throughout your journey, just to make sense of it, just to make sense of why you're here, right?
So then challenging that very thing is fantastic, Ashan.
Yeah, because I've realized that we go looking for labels because we are uncomfortable just being. Because then we have an answer. Who are you? I'm an actor. What are you doing? I don't know. My purpose in life is to act because that's the only thing I'm good at. That's a way out. That's an easy way out. That's an excuse.
So you are showing us your humanity. That is what you are doing.
I'm showing you my flaws.
Yeah. Which is human.
Yeah, well, right now I don't know who I am. I won't call myself an actor because that was something that was a crutch for me for the longest time. And I used that also to say it in a way, like in an impressive way, like, I'm not an architect. I'm not a media personality. I'm not an influencer. I'm an actor.
Oh, you did that.
Yeah, I didn't go out and say it, but I felt that.
Yeah.
Right? But now I'm like, no. That is also just me hiding behind something, thinking, okay, this is why I'm here. This is my purpose.
You don't know your purpose.
I don't, right? But I know that a lot of the things we do just looking for that next hit.
Yeah.
And we are all addicts, right? So food that we like, drinks that we like, going on a trip, trying to talk to a girl we like, having sex, all of these things, we do everything for those things, right? Just that little, what's the word, stimulation. We're looking for the next stimulation because then we know that is why we're here. We are making money to eat, to live well. We're doing things just for the next hit, just to distract us.
So the stimulation, now that is the concern, because when you do it for those stimulations, to have sex, to eat, to do all those things, go out, to do all that, the problem is when that stimuli is fed to you in this parallel space called online, then your stimulus is fed, and then there is no reason for engagement. Now that is the concern. Those are the concerns that are building those very concerns.
Correct. Yeah. But like,
so
I guess it's a collective responsibility as well. Like people, even though we don't have the answers, we should just get together and talk about it.
no, the fact that we don't have answers, the fact that we don't want even so what is what are we saying here? There is no such thing as masculinity really, because
Yeah.
this is just us responding.
Yeah.
Right? The stereotypes are out there. We know
Yeah.
the stereotypes are out there because
Yeah.
you are the stereotype.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we are on a journey of shedding
Yeah.
this thing that we were told or we were brought up, or at least our parents' generation were brought up.
Yeah.
We're shedding. We are in the process of shedding it, but while we are shedding it, consciously or unconsciously, like it might be you're being forced to shed, or you're just there are pieces broken off you with things that happen unconsciously. You don't know why, but it's happening, right? And that's a good thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to support other men, what would you say? What would be the best way to support other men in your experience now, going through what you have gone through, being in friendships, being in relationships with other men? How would you say is the best way forward to support them, to support us?
Talking, being there. Like for instance, now we have a WhatsApp group. My batch from school, 2000 A level. So what I'm 44 this year. So we have a batch on WhatsApp, a group, a huge group, 160 people, right? And for the longest time, people were sharing porn, right? Like these are like married men with kids. I'm not saying it's wrong. That's not what I'm saying. So that's what was happening. Hey, look at this gossip. Look at that. We were sharing porn, and people had this guy who lives overseas. He's the guy that sends porn. This is our outlet. We lost 2 people this year, right? 2 of our batchmates. And then one guy who lives in the States, he started saying, guys, we need to talk. Every week I'm going to schedule a call just to talk. What's going on in your lives? How's work? Right? Every Sunday. And then once a month, he organizes a talk with a mental health professional. Just come and talk. That person talks, we listen. So he's doing that.
How wonderful.
Yeah. So it's just about, hey guys, this is happening. If you want to join, it's fine. But, even just to talk about what you did this week, because like men of my generation, they don't talk. I lost a very good friend in Feb. He was going through financial trouble. He didn't reach out. He had high pressure. He didn't have money to pay for his pills. He had a beautiful young daughter who was going to school. He didn't have money for school fees. And a best friend of mine, he didn't reach out. And then we found out that he had a stroke and he's in a coma. Later on, we found out all these things, that he hadn't been taking his medication. And so, was in a coma for 3 weeks, he died. We had no idea. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
just got to talk.
Yeah. Okay, so on that, we'll make sure that's what we do.
Yeah, yeah. And how am I going to help? I'm just going to show that it's okay. Like, if you call me an influencer, then look at my posts. When I'm upset, I will put up a post about something. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Talk about it. It's not something wrong with you.
No.
It doesn't make you weak.
No, it's like we are born without bloody tear ducts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
like-
opposite, man.
yeah.
It's the opposite. If you're scared of showing yourself, if you're hiding behind
Yeah.
your masculinity or whatever,
Yeah.
you're damaging yourself and you're proving that you're a coward. Face it.
Yeah.
I lost another friend to suicide a few years back. He took his life and his life of his 2 kids. And this guy was not somebody who was an idiot. He advocated mental health. He was talking to people. He was helping people with men's mental health. But he came to a point where he was going through something really bad and he didn't talk. He didn't reach out. So, man, how many more people do we have to lose?
It's an everyday thing, no?
Yeah.
Living is an everyday thing.
Yeah.
So when you wake up in the morning, I wake up in the morning and I thank whatever stars there are that I woke up in the morning, because I didn't think I'd get this far. But I have. And it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And when you find out that it is such a wonderful thing, then those mornings look more likely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we need to get.
Yeah.
We need to talk to each other and just help everyone remember that sunrise is stunning.
Yeah.
Have you been to the East Coast? That sunrise is a stunning sunrise.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to remind them of.
I'll remind, if whoever watches this, I'll show them something else. Now, you telling me that, how grateful you are to wake up and see the sunrise. I'm at a space in my life where I don't see it,
I know.
right? That's because I'm, like, when I say I'm letting go of things, I'm shedding things, I'm saying that I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm looking for answers. I'm also at a space where I'm like, what's the point,
I know.
right? But I'm okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because the things that I've gone through in the past, and I say this is why I'm like this, because of past trauma, what am I going to do about it? Because it's affecting my relationships with my friends, with anybody that I want to love. Do I want to love? I'm not saying I'm going to like lose everything and just go do something stupid. I think about things, right?
I'm saying
Yeah.
if you speak to someone,
Yeah.
and we know people,
Yeah.
they help us reconstruct.
Yeah. I'm not seeing the joy in life, right?
Yeah, okay.
I'm aware of it, and I'm okay to talk about it,
Superb.
right? So that's like, you look at me, people look at me and think, okay, 4 of the 6 movies, the big movies this year, he's been in, and your career is skyrocketing. Life must be good. The movies are doing well. I'm okay, but like, it doesn't really do anything for me, right? I'm trying to look for that space where I'm not sad. I'm not looking for happiness. I'm just looking for that space where I'm not sad. And that's looking for that answer is the whole point. Shedding, talking about it. And say you say, okay, what can we do as men? Talk to your friends. Go out. If you have a problem, go talk to your friends at least. No, you go out, you have a drink. What do? In my experience, Machan, come. You've been down. Come, let's have a drink. Go there, 2 drinks in one. Yeah, Machan, what happened last week? Listen, I'm going through this stuff. Do you know I went through the same thing, Machan? Yeah, you have no idea, Machan. This girl and that girl. So nobody listens, right?
No.
The idea of going out for a drink to talk,
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
Yeah. Unless you want to talk about something inane that happened 20 years ago in school.
Or you just want to sit. That helps.
And listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to sit, even if you don't want to talk, Machan,
Yeah,
come,
yeah,
let's go. I'm not going to ask you anything. Let's just sit. So,
Or Ibagamu Ennako.
Ibagama, that's a
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
And then we go to Pasiguda and watch a sunrise.
Okay.
And we'll have a chat.
Okay, cool. Can I bring my cats?
You can.
Okay, cool. Done.
Yeah, but there's a dog.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. And on that, thank you very much.